This video contains blinking lights, sounds and descriptions which may be unsettling to some. Viewer discretion is advised.
SCP-2510. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Armed Dimensional Containment Site 08 was successfully constructed around the entrance of SCP-2510's interior. No personnel are to enter SCP-2510-1 without authorization by Site Command. Type A hazmat suits are mandatory within SCP-2510-1, as is decontamination upon exit. Armed guards are to be in place at all times in order to prevent unauthorized access to the facility. In the event of a security breach by civilians or hostile entities, lethal force is authorized. In the event of security breach from within SCP-2510-1, the on-site nuclear device will be detonated. Armed Dimensional Containment Site 08 is to maintain the facade of a French sky monitoring station. Research staff must include several individuals versed in Linear B, Ancient Automation, Pythagoreanism, and early Church of the Broken God history and doctrine. A disinformation campaign continues to falsify scientific reports, perpetuating the belief that SCP-2510 is strictly a landmass formed by a series of large volcanic eruptions. Special precautions must be taken when exploring SCP-2010's interior. Some sections contain dangerous levels of ionizing radiation. As SCP-2510 cannot be contained in its entirety due to its colossal size, security measures designed to prevent extensive visitations of SCP-2510 and access to its interior are enacted. SCP-2510 is a machine primarily submerged within deep water, geographically known as the Gargulan Plateau. Its current state was created due to accumulative effects of rust, sedimentation, volcanic activity, and large structural deformation of the Earth's lithosphere. Due primarily to damage, SCP-2510 is now non-functional, and its original purpose remains unknown. Reverse engineering has been applied to isolated portions of SCP-2510, with some positive results. This has included the creation of the replication of SCP anomaly. The interior is composed mostly of a jet black material discovered to be cubic boron nitride with a wurtzite crystal structure. Tubes and wires are visible in between the metal plating, exhibiting a green dim-lit light. 95% of SCP-2510's interior is flooded or too damaged to be directly accessed. SCP-2510-1 is a circular trans-dimensional gateway crafted from the repurposed SCP-2510 parts. The inner ring contains a flower-like pattern with the symmetrical structure of a hexagon. The outer ring is engraved with the symbols Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, and Epsilon in a clockwise direction. SCP-2510-1 unfurls when activated, becoming a doorway to one of several possible environments. SCP-2510-1 draws energy from a still unreachable power source within SCP-2510. SCP-2510-1 is operated via SCP-2510-2. It's one of those again. Very well. SCP-2510-2 is a hydraulis. It's an ancient Greek water organ of sorts, constructed directly across from SCP-2510-1. Just like SCP-2510-1, it is not believed to be an original part of SCP-2510. Engraved on its base
is a tetrad, a triangular figure consisting of 10 points arranged in 4 rows. 1, 2, 3 and 4 points in each row, which is the geometrical representation of the 4th triangular number. The tetrad was a symbol sacred to the Pythagoreans, each row denoting the harmony of the squares. It has been assumed that the tetractys coincides with the Pythagorean music system. These rows can be divided into the ratios 4 to 3, 3 to 2, and 2 to 1, you see. Musically, these ratios correspond with the perfect 4th, perfect 5th, and the perfect octave, the base components of the Pythagorean scales. SCP-2510 was first discovered by Breton-French navigator IV Joseph de Kerguelen-Tremarec on the 12th of February 1772 and claimed the island for the French crown. The Foundation became alerted to the true nature of SCP-2510 on the 20th of August 1871 after the discovery of a military report in occupied parts of France detailing an incident involving an auxiliary cruiser Atlantia in late December 1869. The ship docked at SCP-2510 while the crew performed maintenance and replenished their water supplies. While harvesting ice, the crew struck something with the appearance of an artificial construction. Assumed at first to be an ancient shipwreck, the sailors attempted excavation with the apparent hope for treasure. 19 would return to the Atlantia delirious and suffering from acute radiation poisoning. Survivors, upon recovery, would report having found a ville de machine or machine city. The Foundation, with permission of the French government, established a presence in the Kerguelen Islands. After extensive research, the entire Kerguelen Plateau would be classified as SCP-2510. Construction of Armed Dimensional Containment Site 08 was completed by the 20th of October 1882. For further documentation with regards to Armed Dimensional Containment Site 08, contact Site Director. Mobile Task Force Alpha 5 Paranauts was created to explore SCP-2510-1 once its anomalous properties had been established. Mobile Task Force Alpha 5 Paranauts roster: Captain William Hadley as a commanding officer, Dr. Albert Cronenberg as geologist, geneticist and microbiologist, Dr. Joseph Maxwell, engineer and mathematician, Dr. Judith Low, archaeologist, historian and anthropologist, Dr. Jacob Armitage, astrophysicist, and Dr. Laura Baker, geologist and geographer. Captain Hadley, Dr. Maxwell and Dr. Armitage were veterans. Due to their significant military training and experience, they were equipped with simple sidearms as a precautionary measure. File SCP-2510-1 Alpha Activation. On the 15th of November 1873, SCP-2510-1 Alpha was activated by the perfect 4th, the 4:3 ratio. Alpha symbol on the outer ring displayed a violet glow, while the inner ring aperture unfolds to reveal a opaque void large enough to enter. Mobile Task Force Alpha 5 Paranauts, a mobile task force trained and equipped for transdimensional exploration, were tasked with an expedition into SCP-2510-1 Alpha. Equipment designed for the supply of breathable oxygen and the elimination of carbon dioxide, maintain stable internal pressure, and protect against hazardous material and inhospitable environments. Suits are tethered to both light support systems and radio cables, limiting mobility. SCP-2510-1 Alpha Exploration Log starts now.
How do you read, Site Command?
We read you loud and clear. What do you see?
First off, my lungs didn't explode. We're on land. Dusty and grey, totally barren. Not much to see. Not a sign of life. Stars are visible though.
Armitage, provide an astronomical report. Anything of note?
Roger. It was one of the first things I noticed. Only thing that seemed in place.
Explain.
Astronomical alignment coincides with Earth. I'd say we're somewhere near the equator, but I can't verify this without more data.
Understood. Photograph everything, no matter how mundane. Captain?
We hear ya.
You've all got about 12 meters of slack. Keep this in mind when exploring. Baker, get a read on the land. Bring back a few samples.
Copy that.
Low, Cronenberg, how are you two holding up?
Fine. Although I'm not exactly sure why I'm here.
Wunderbar. Einfach wunderbar.
We're walking blind here. Could have been little green men on the other side for all we know. Low, keep an eye out for anything artificial. Oh, and Cronenberg, no fucking sass. Doesn't sound like there's much life here, so keep an eye on the life support. Maxwell, work with Cronenberg. You've got an hour. Make it worth your while.
Post-operation report. First I'd like to speak freely. Our first portal jump was a success, albeit rather anticlimactic looking back on the transcript. Relatively successful data recovery. Soil sample, according to Baker, was shown to be devoid of nutrients. Cronenberg confirmed the complete lack of life. If this was Earth, none of us can say what exactly happened to it. Whatever happened, not even bacteria survived. Maybe a case of a XK class scenario, a doomsday conclusion without explanation. In other words, we got the corpse but not the murder weapon. This was Captain William Hadley.
SCP-2510-1 Beta Activation. On the 29th of November 1873, SCP-2510-1 Beta was activated by the perfect unison, or 1-to-1 ratio. The beta symbol on the outer ring displayed a violet glow, while the inner ring aperture opens. Mobile Task Force Alpha 5 Paranauts enters the aperture with the equipment and the procedure identical to that of previous expeditions. A live video transmission was deemed acceptable, manned and operated by Dr. Maxwell.
How do you read Site Command?
We read you loud and clear. Receiving video feed. Significant interference. Your eyes will still have the best viewing. We're trying to clean up the video later.
Copy that. Area looks to be artificially constructed. Superficially resembles a subway tunnel. Honestly, I think we exited from a washroom. Bloody disgusting in there. Saw a few humans. Tend to ignore us and keep to the shadows. They looked pretty sick from the real few glimpses I've had.
We've received readings. Air seems polluted but breathable. Pressure looks to be normal. Temperature might be a bit chilly but tolerable. Alter life support to air filtration and feel free to remove the heavier equipment. Keep two attached and equipped. Maxwell and Armitage, hold the portal. The rest of you get properly mobile and see what you can find.
We're ready. We'll rendezvous here in 2 hours. Maxwell will keep you updated. Then we'll compile our reports.
Copy that. Godspeed. Maxwell, keep filming. Still trying to find any discrepancies. Look for any writing, billboards, graffiti, so on.
Copy that. No billboards, as far as I can see. Plenty of writing. I'd call it graffiti, but it just coincides with the architecture too well. See what I mean?
Can't make sense of it on our side. What do you think you see?
You know, that is the strangest part. I thought we were in an underground station, but no real tracks, surface of the floor and walls, a red brick and cement, but there's a glossy reflection, like everything is moist and slimy. Well, then again, it's not much different from the London underground. Hold, we've got vibrations. Locals are gathering at the edge of the platform. Holy shit!
Losing you. What do you see?
Probably should have kept Cronenberg with us. I see an object. Hold on. There seem to be entities. Looks like we're not alone. Command, I'm attempting to hide, but the suit is making it difficult. Are you receiving it?
The camera focuses in on a huge, fleshy object covered in gaping paws.
Looks a bit like a grub. Big as a, train. I think it might actually be some form of transportation. Pale white countless legs, like an insect. Yeah, black chitin in contrast with a soft flappy body. Quite sure it's alive. Think I heard it chatter and hiss.
Native denizens dressed in cowled robes walk barefoot in and out of the holes, while a large entity crawls into the tunnels.
And there it crawls off, in a blink, in the skull. Some people came out of it, covered in slime. A few have gathered around it.
Are you safe? Do they seem hostile?
I would almost call them curious, but their eyes are blank. Almost dead, like they're in a trance. Skin fairly jaundiced. You can see that now. Just staring at us.
Attempt communication.
Greetings. Do you understand me?
The camera is set on the gathering crowd and is focusing on the face of one of the individuals. Then the entity opens its mouth, displaying more than 60 needle-like teeth, and its jaw appears to unhinge. Then the entity proceeds to vocalize a screech, and all other creatures fall into a quadruple gate and scatter into the darkness.
Maxwell, do you read me? Report!
Yeah, Jesus Christ. They look human. Still think they are. They're gone now. Think it covered our equipment in saliva.
We'll gather a sample upon return, then get you all cleaned up. Hold your ground. Get out as soon as the team regroups.
Copy that.
Post-operation report. Felt like we were being watched the entire time, even when we were certain no one else was around. We reached the surface, discovered an entire hive teeming with life. There were black banners adorned with yellow symbols. Almost looked like a spiral of some kind. Low said it felt familiar but couldn't really recall where she saw it before. We avoided direct contact with the natives. It was something about their unblinking staring, like they had a few missing cogs in their head. Didn't want to catch whatever sickness they had either. Cronenberg said the DNA samples from the spit was mostly human. Most of the buildings were cement and featureless. The taller structures appeared to be shaped from one seamless organic material. These spires were reaching up all the way into the hazy sky, so I can't say how tall they were. Low translated some of the words on the walls. Sounded like religious gibberish to me though. We did have one incident on our way back. Baker got scratched by a native. Tore right through a suit and left a nasty gash. Wound is infected and last I heard she was running up a high fever. I don't think she'll be joining us on our next expedition. Armitage and Maxwell lost some hearing, but they're good to go. Captain William Hadley out. SCP-2510-1 Gamma activation. On the 6th of December 1873, SCP-2510-1 Gamma was activated by the Perfect Fifth. The Gamma symbol on the outer ring displayed a violet glow, while the inner ring aperture opens. Mobile Task Force Alpha 5 Paranauts entered the aperture minus Dr. Baker, still in critical condition.
How do you read, Site Command?
We read you loud and clear. Receiving video feed. Interference is worse than before.
Copy that. Reporting a heavy yellow fog. Hard to see anything. See shapes in the haze. I think we may be in a forest.
Acknowledged. Please, continue exploration.
Roger. You heard commands, follow me. Don't trip over your own wires.
Achtung! These are not trees. Do you not see? Focus camera.
Cronenberg, what are you thinking?
Gnarled like roots, yes? But soft to touch.
This is when the camera focuses in on the object in question. While as thick and tall as a tree, it does not appear to be flora. The camera moves in to reveal the silhouettes of similar organisms in the distance.
Disgusting. Looks like sinewy intestines.
Mine thoughts exactly. But where does it touch?
We are getting some noise on your side. Do you hear anything?
Affirmative. Like a heartbeat. No. Heartbeats? Hundreds pulsating at different speeds and intervals.
The ground is rumbling. An earthquake?
The organic tendril pulls from the ground, revealing a chitinous proboscis with several wiggling tongues before retreating skyward.
God!
No, it's like you're getting wood. I'm not even sure if this is so in your future.
A mass of squirming organic material erupts from the crevice and proceeds to slither and shamble towards the team.
Oh dear God, retreat! That is an order! Retreat!
Pull out, you bastards!
The organisms hurl a bone-like projectile at the camera. The video feed is lost. Post-operation report. We got out alive. Unscratched. Armitage is a wreck though. Can't say I'm much better. Said he heard voices. My thoughts went to shell shock, but it turned out our mics actually picked something up after all. The tech guys isolated and amplified the background noise, recovering a deep chanting in a language not even Low could identify. I don't think a human tongue could have produced it. The air was sickly yellow, reeked of sulfur. Probably wasn't breathable. We retrieved a DNA sample from Cronenberg's glove. The results, you ask? Mostly human. Captain Hadley, out. SCP-2510-1 Delta activation. On December 10th, 1873, SCP-2510-1 Delta was activated by the perfect octave, ratio 2:1. The Delta symbol on the outer ring displays a violet glow, while the inner ring aperture opens. Mobile Task Force Alpha 5 Paranauts were to enter the aperture minus Dr. Baker, at the time in critical condition. SCP-2510-1 Delta sealed shut at the moment Captain Hadley entered, severing him from life support systems and radio contact. SCP-2510-2 was used to play the perfect octave, SCP-2510-1 failing to respond. Attempts at rescue proved unsuccessful. Now I would like to thank my Patreon patrons: Jax Marek, Steam Chest, The Groenevee Absinthe, Steamy Wonders, Musical Wizardry, Mr. Lotus, Feline Lung, Kathy Ma, and Phoebe Darkling. If you want a personal thank you at the end of our episodes, please support us on Patreon. Till next time.